Alright guys, so before I start today's video, I just want to come out and say thank you to you guys. I just recently hit 12,500 subscribers, which is absurd. Truly, honestly, thank you guys for all the support, especially as of recent in the new year. The channel's been doing pretty well, so thank you guys. But there's one thing I really actually do want to thank a lot of people for. You know, there's this big common misconception out there that channels like myself, like Blame Truth, Narrow Cinema, my homie The Dynamite, and a ton of other content creators where people really truly think we just make YouTube videos about Call of Duty to hate, and then we just bounce and don't come back until we want to hate again. And I'll be the first to admit, here on my channel specifically, I don't know about the other content creators, but I got a bit of a potty mouth sometimes, and I'll say some things that are not the most appropriate to the devs or to Activision or to the game that we're playing, and especially to the gooch lickers, which are a main focus in today's video. But at the end of the day, I make a lot of these videos because I want people to be aware of some of the problems in these games, but the goal is for that message to some way, somehow, be received by the developers. And you know what? To all of the gooch lickers that tell me and all these other channels to stop hating on COD, to stop crying about Call of Duty, let me put this on the screen. This comes from Call of Duty's official Twitter. Season 2 will be launching on February 15th. Our studio teams have been making several changes based on what we heard from our player community. Season 2 includes all new content, blah blah blah. They talk about having new maps, even though I personally think that's cap. Talking about new modes, which I also think is cap. And then some Warzone 2 things that I don't really care about, but I'll talk about it in a minute. And you know guys, in my previous video, I already talked about the leak that Season 2 was being delayed. And I already talked about the issues with the delay, but I got something to get off my chest, guys. See, like I said earlier, the gooch lickers, they think nothing productive comes from a channel like this. And I'm not saying that my specific videos made specific changes. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the awareness that I put out sometimes, because sometimes I get some fairly decent views from my channel at least, that perhaps the message was received by somebody who passed it on to somebody who passed it on to another person, and eventually it reached a dev. It's possible. You know, I swear, if it weren't for YouTube, I would say some of the most rancid things possible right now. You guys know what I would say right now. But you know what? It's soft boy hours, I understand. So for now, gooch lickers, just cut the malarkey. Alright? By the way guys, I'll talk about Season 2 very specifically in a moment, but I want to go through my recent track record with complaining and then those complaints being kind of fixed, or at least mentioned. First of all, you guys remember when I talked about the whole nade shot thing? He blew up on Activision because of the Warzone 2 problems and the crashing and stuff like that. Again, I'm not saying that I did that. Obviously, that was nade shot, but I covered it on the channel. Gooch Lickers told me to stop hating on COD. What happens next? Oh yeah, Raven Software and Infinity Ward fixed the crashing issues after Nadeshot's rant. Further down the line, I talked about in the CDL, Optic Gaming forfeiting a match because of a bug with the SAE kill streak, where you pull out the iPad and your game freezes for a bit. Yeah, people told me to stop hating, and what happens? Oh yeah, weeks later, issues started getting worked on. If not, it's already fixed by now. And this one is my favorite actually, because this was my first video to ever hit 100,000 views. It's called Bad News for MW2. And in this video, I talked about a specific leak where Activision and Infinity Ward were not agreeing on how they wanted to put out post-launch content. Activision wanted to drip feed, Infinity Ward wanted to do the exact opposite. My stance on the video was that ideally, I wanted like 12 to 14 maps and then 3 maps per season. Activision was on the side where they wanted to drip feed. Infinity Ward wanted to put all their cards out on the table immediately at once, which I personally thought would not be the best idea. Post-launch content would be kind of bad. People called me a hater, people called me all sorts of things, people were telling me I didn't know anything about Call of Duty, that I would be wrong. Fast forward, and unfortunately for us, we got the worst of both worlds. Not only did we get a very minimal amount of maps at launch, but post-launch content, at least up to this point, we're about 3 months in now, has been entirely drip fed. We've gotten 2 new maps, and those 2 new maps are not new. Now, I'm bringing that up because in Call of Duty's tweet, they talked about how Season 2 is going to include all new content. It's going to bring new multiplayer maps, new modes, new weapons. There's going to be ranked play, which I'm actually excited for. But guys, this is where I don't want anybody to settle for less, alright? It's good that they communicated. It's good that they said that they're changing things, but the push should not stop there, alright? Scat Master Fooly right now is becoming Coach Master Fooly, and let me just tell you guys right now, when they say new multiplayer maps, I think that's a load of cap. I think what they mean is it's new to MW2. It's not new in the sense that we haven't already seen it. The rumor of Castle being remastered is still alive. That still has not been debunked. I don't know about Museum's current state, but I wouldn't really be surprised. Now, I want to show you guys something, alright? On this channel, I do a very good job of shouting out a ton of different Twitter accounts. Today, let me put mine up, because I think I made a wonderful point. I think this is a perfect opportunity for gooch lickers out there, and maybe some casual fans, to stop accepting less. Stop accepting the bare minimum from these developers. Call of Duty puts out the tweet saying, oh, we're delaying the season, we're gonna be changing some things based off of feedback. Scatmaster, if you don't follow my Twitter, here it is. Fooly with 2 Y's, by the way. I tweeted out 3+ maps minimum, not including Castle or Museum if those rumors are true. Meaning, if Castle and Museum are coming back into this game, guess what? That season better have 5 goddamn total maps. I want 3 original maps, or if they're gonna be some remastered maps, not a map like Castle. Give us some MW2 classics, give us some COD 4 classics. Overhaul the UI and the perks because both have issues. Buff the movement, I'll die on that hill. Lessen SBMM. Make this season a 2-month season maximum, alright? None of this waiting 2.5 months, surely not 3 goddamn months. And give us good earnable content or cosmetics, or toss this shit in the trash. This is where the coaching skills come in, guys. If they delayed the launch of the season and we just had a 3-month season 1 with only 2 remastered maps added in, and they give us Castle and Museum, and you are happy with that, that is an example of you accepting the bare minimum. Scadmaster doesn't roll like that, alright? My standards are not ground level. The bar is extremely low at this point, and if you accept the devs giving you the bare minimum, then that is one of the biggest reasons why these recent CODs have sucked so badly. From my perspective right now, I don't care if you guys think this is not realistic. If they don't meet any of those expectations that I tweeted out, that season is instantly trash. It's dumps of juice gooch sweat. It's not worth it. It's not saving this game. What I tweeted out is genuinely what I think will actually make this season a good season. Anything less, not acceptable. Some of you guys need to learn how to stop settling for less. I'm just gonna say that right now. Earlier in the video, I mentioned some of my accolades and things that I've been right about and things that actually got changed after I made a video on it. Not saying I was responsible for the change, I'm just saying it got changed. Well, this one is for the Warzone 2 people. This comes from Infinity Ward and Raven Software. 1v1s are back in Battle Royale. Gulag updates, blah blah blah. Listen, I knew about this whole 2v2 gulag issue and a lot of people did not like it. A lot of people were vocal about it, and here comes the whole, oh, you're part of the vocal minority. Okay, well, if the vocal minority is complaining about something, please explain to me how they actually changed this. Thank you, Gooch Lickers. It's currently like 77 to the Scatmaster and 0 to the Gooch Lickers. People complained about 2v2 gulags, and guess what? Now it's changed back to 1v1 gulag, which a lot of people wanted, and a lot of people got it. The thing is here, I'm not a fan of Warzone. I'm waiting for the multiplayer stuff. So far, we haven't gotten anything, but this comes out from Charlie Intel saying, there's a lot of good changes to come with Season 2. Stay tuned as we get closer to February 15th. And that's yet to be determined. We'll see for ourselves when that happens. And you know what, guys? Very quickly, I want to do something that I don't really do on this channel. And some people might look at me sideways for this, but try to follow along because there's a bigger point to this. Guys, I try to do my best reading all the comments, and I've seen some comments about people saying don't entirely blame the developers. Some people are developers themselves and have commented saying, hey, you know, it's actually a pretty difficult task to develop a game. And look, I understand completely, 100%. You gotta have some very special talents, some very special skills to do some developing in a game. But if there's any developers out there, whether you're a developer for COD or not, let me just say I do appreciate the work, alright? Playing video games is a very important part of my life, and I really enjoy some of the products that are out there. And when it comes to Call of Duty, I understand that it's not all on the devs. I understand that Activision and Bobby Cosby is a large reason for the downfall that we've been experiencing in COD since MW 2019. But that doesn't go without saying, I remember when the developers for this game told us we couldn't have red dots or dead silence because the game plays better without them. Is that a PR answer? I don't know. What I do know is nobody knows how this game plays with red dots or with dead silence enabled, except for the people who were invited out to play the game early. They had red dots enabled. They got beautiful, wonderful, positive feedback for that. And the developers told them, oh, that was a mistake, that's being disabled. Since then, we haven't had it, and the developers have completely ignored us on this. I personally think the developers and everybody else involved needs to do a better job listening and accommodating. Once again, Infinity Ward, the ball is in your court. Activision, please stop messing with the devs. Let them do what they gotta do, please. And in a couple of weeks for season 2, we'll see what happens. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. What changes do you actually want to see for season 2? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
It's been a very long time since the weekend. It's been a very long time and I'm weak.